with a difference.
Streets like a jungle, so call the police. Following the herd down to Greece. On holiday up in the 90s, it's paranoid. On sunny beaches, take your chances. Looking for girls who are boys, who like boys, who do girls, who do boys like their girls, who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone you really love. Girls who are boys, who like boys, who do girls, who do boys like their girls, who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone you really
I'd like to welcome you to Chrysalis. Our aim is to help you become the person that you want to be. Let's go. Come on, Mary, speed it up, please. Let's go. This is the Ayatollah bit. Come on, jolly good. Okay, Gina. Let's sashay, dear. Let's go for it. Lovely. Such a lady. Right, Vicky, go for it. It's that vital cigarette. You need it. You want it. Where is it? Lead me to my fags. Okay, that's lovely. Thank you very much. So we've gone from the leaning forwards now to the upright stance, and we've kind of gone from one to the other. And what we're going to be doing in a minute is just trying to relax, apart from the gesture. Gina's absolutely lovely. Becky, again, we're very contained. It's this very, because you're being looked at, etc., etc. And what we're going to try and get over, there you go. The minute you relax and do something like that, that's absolutely lovely. Vicky is rushing and rushing and rushing for that fag, and he's not actually rolling as much. That's, you've got a nice...
Whatever word they want to call me, fine. It's just so nice to be me. Yeah. Now, if people call that being a transsexual, a male to female transsexual, fine. But more important is me to be me, you know. But don't call me him anymore, or he. It hurts inside.
This part of the day, I want to be fun. I want you to learn something. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on the voice. There are no miracles. That's better. Now, relax, relax. Pretend you're having fun. Now, you don't escape here. You look as though you're going to have a really good breathing bit. Okay? Take a breath. You don't feel anything.
I think that.
Blend it right round there. Yeah?
That's
it, well done. Whoops, I don't think. Sorry, off you go, you're doing a grand job.
We'll be ready by 8 o'clock tonight, won't we?
How far do you want it from the top, yeah? Over to there?
I'd go like that. You must have been an artist in former life.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, how is the dinner?
Delightful, thank you.
Very good on eating, actually.
I come from Sardinia.
When I came out, it was much more sort of, it was suspect socially. I think nowadays, in an ordinary situation, a transvestite would draw about as much attention as an old-fashioned punk. People will look and say, oh yes.
He's a transvestite?
Yeah.
But you're overtly a transvestite, really, aren't you? So, you're saying now that there's levels of it then, that's acceptable?
If you're going to set out to shock people and you want to be a bit of a freak, then you have every right to go down the street. We British are famed for eccentricity.
Oh, yes, yes.
And if you want to be an eccentric, carry on the tradition.
And do it.
But I don't want to be an eccentric. I don't want to be a freak. I just got this sort of aspect to me that wants to express itself.
Yes, dear.
Too small.
Pardon?
Too high.
What are? Well, we're going to talk about new toys. Boobs. They're my own.
I know, darling, I know they are, but we're going to talk about underpants tomorrow, I think. Just a little moment between us, okay?
I'd already started having a sex life and understanding the difference between sex as a female and sex as a pseudo-male. And I was used to a lot of hypocrisy from men. And then I met Mark. He was very, very gentle in his approach to me. There followed a night of very gentle lovemaking in which he broke all my rules. One of my rules is I don't take my knickers off. He did that, not because he was gay, but because he wanted to give me some form of satisfaction. He was gentle with his caresses. He held me. He showed me that it didn't make a difference, that it was me he appreciated. I'd never had that in my life. He made me feel wonderful. He made me feel total, whole. He made me feel the woman I am. He's still a symbol to me. It took a long while for me to learn to love myself, and Mark was the revelation that shows that I can be loved and not just used.
This exercise is about walking down the high street, you come to a shop window and there's something in it that takes your attention. When you've been living in a male role for a long time, you may look absolutely wonderful, but in fact the moment you start moving in a typically male way, even using the wrong muscles, it sounds ridiculous, but getting in and out of chairs, walking, moving around, it is a matter of moving and re-educating in their feminine role, the way that they move. That makes a big difference to their confidence. Transvestites, I think, want to go over the top perhaps more than transsexuals. They create a style that becomes overblown and a caricature, and a caricature can be read even quicker than somebody who's doing practically nothing. What we haven't got, luckily, are too many people doing what I have actually seen happening, not just once but many times, and it goes like this. Preoperative transsexuals have a problem, I believe, because they're going through the route of psychiatrists. But it's not a psychiatrist's job to say, you look absolutely dreadful in navy blue, darling, try green. That's trivialising it, but sometimes that's what it just boils down to. And it comes from being self-conscious, worrying about what you're doing, and behaving totally unnaturally. You're not Danny LaRue. None of you wants to behave like Danny LaRue.
I think probably why our relationship works, in fact, is because I told her when we were still friends. And obviously we fell in love with each other, but she fell in love with me knowing I was a transvestite, so she fell in love with the true me.
First time I saw Ali, I was shocked. There was an awful lot that needed serious work, but he looked damn good.
You know, I noticed one bloke sort of looking at my legs, and I thought, yes, if only he knew. My transvestism hasn't affected my sex life in the least. As for my sexuality, that hasn't changed at all. I'm 110% heterosexual.
I find myself attracted to Alison, which brought up an awful lot of conflict of, am I lesbian?
Ali quite often takes a part in our sex life. Sometimes Sue enjoys, I suppose, the knowledge of, you know, that although I appear as a woman, I'm really all man underneath, and she finds that quite exciting. And because it's pleasing her, it pleases me too. I've met myself an awful lot of the problems that women face, builders whistling and making lewd comments. I've had those. If I was a real woman, I would be extremely offended by the things these blokes are saying. Okay, yeah, I'll still look at a pretty girl and think, oh, yeah, you know, but I don't make it too obvious.
We've already done the walking about, and I've had a look at you, and we've decided what's right and what's wrong. Now what I want you to do is to get into a circle and start to walk. I want you to go clockwise, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed you up. I have very good reasons for doing this. I'm not just torturing you. Okay. I think with transvestites, unless they've got a very, very understanding partner, they haven't got anybody to turn to show them how to make the best of themselves. So you see people walking around looking like a cross between Danny LaRue and a shaggy bath mat. So they turn to us so that we can help try different styles, different wigs, different makeups, and get them happy with what they've got. Go, run, now break into a slide trot, slide trot.
I got invited by some friends to their local pub. It was well over a year ago now, and it was packed, and I've walked in the front door and the whole place has gone silent, deadly silent. Everyone's staring. So I've walked up to the bar and I'm waiting with my money and everyone's still staring at me, and I said, "What's wrong with you people? Have you never seen a transsexual before?"
You say it too.
Well, yeah, it was, you know...
It's like when you go in the...
It was the right circumstances for it.
Yeah.
Well, there's no reply to that.
You might call me middle class, old-fashioned, what the hell you like, but I think to do that in a public house, you're just perpetuating what the public think of us.
Why?
Because how you're dressing.
Yeah,
all right, you can say it's your point of view, it's your life, your body, but the point of fact is you're making it 10 times difficult for everyone to be accepted.
No, not.
If a man walked in that said pub with no shirt on and a pair of skimpy underpants, everybody in the pub would stop and look at him, and they'd say, "Look at that silly bastard." And
I'd join him.
Well, that is the point of view I'm
Especially
making.
this time of year.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're going to perpetuate how they see you, you're not going to change a damn thing.
It doesn't matter how you look or what you're
You are by doing it.
For Christ's sake, it matters
you
what you
are.
are.
No, I am my transsexual. I am not your form of transsexual.
I'm not talking
a clone
about
of
transsexual. If I go upstairs now and I get changed and I put on a blouse and a short skirt, I look bloody stupid.
Yeah, and if I was wearing your clothes, I'd look bloody stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the point of fact is, if I know it in my own mind, I look bloody stupid.
You feel bloody stupid, yeah, exactly.
Right, but so what is the point of walking in a pub where the general public will say, "Look at that stupid git"?
I think that's
because that's how they perceive you.
Rachel, can I just say something?
you're getting
Because
stuck
you
in the
blocked me
subject
every
here.
time on this. I had to pose as a man for years. When I shed that role, and it wasn't natural, I was not going to put on another one. I was going to be me. This is me. I'm not going to practice anything. I'm not going to be anything I'm not. If I was wearing the kind of clothes you would put me in, I would not be me. I'm not going to do it. Well, if that doesn't conform to your view, tough, sweetheart.
But you're not stick it there.
I've got a transvestite friend that lives in a village fairly close to where I do, and we normally get together about once a week, you know, for a chat, watch a video, you know. And anyway, this one particular night, I was all dressed up, expecting my friend, and there was a knock at the door. And I thought, oh, there's Lisa. So I opened the door, and it wasn't Lisa, it was this little man. And he said, "Good evening, madam. I'm from such and such double glazing company." And so I said, "Yes." And he said, "Could I speak to the man of the house?" Now that annoyed me. So I put my hands on my hips and said in a big butch voice, "I am the man of the house." And his face dropped like a stone. It was unbelievable. You know, he just went white. And I can remember saying to him, you know, "Well, what do you want?" And he said, he said, "I've come to sell you some double glazing." He said, "But you put me right off my stride." So I think I'll hire myself out to get rid of pushy salesmen and Jehovah's Witnesses.
You were more glam, what with the wig that you had, or
No. I mean, I was sort of the makeup. You know, around the eyes was heavier blusher, and that sort of thing. It was definitely, you know,
more tarty.
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're wearing it. I'm the Avon then.
Oh, this one isn't Avon, actually.
Isn't it?
No, it's different company that makes the same sort of thing.
This is identical. Oh
well. We're all made up of a mixture of masculinity and femininity. And I think we tend to separate it more than most people. If society allowed us to mix that feeling, I don't think we would have the same need. I could take a medicine and cure it like that. I'd be first one in the queue. It would make my life a lot easier and a lot simpler. Society doesn't allow men the freedom to dress in a feminine way. And when they do, they're shunned, they're frowned upon, they're called names.
Role play. I know you've all heard the word and you're all thinking to yourself, "Oh, Lord, I've got to go and get a BAFTA." You don't. The role play is not your job. What this is about is it's allowing me to see how you deal with different situations. Scenario will be that you are in a pub.
They've had a good look, so...
Yeah,
I'd like to be left alone.
A lot of people think it's weird.
Yes, thank
right?
you. Yes, but I'd like to be left alone.
What I want to see is you deciding how to deal with the person that you're confronted with.
You're a very elegant woman.
Do you come here often?
You've got lovely hands. You've got small hands. My mother always said, marry a woman with small hands. You know why?
You're going to tell me, aren't you?
Please, just deal with him.
It'll only take a second, right? I want you to do me a favour, because the boys over there, right, we got a little bet on this, right, and this is going to cost me a tenner if I'm wrong. But they think they got a fella. Now, I know that you're lady.
He's a persistent little sod, isn't he?
Tell you what, I'll leave. You come outside with me, pal. Let's sort it out there. Come on.
No, I'm afraid not.
Nah. You're scared, aren't you?
I'm not scared.
You're a coward, you're a Nancy boy. You make me sick.
Listen, there is nothing cowardly about me. I've got the guts to go out dressed like this.
Oh, yeah?
And express myself how I want. All right? Knowing full well that I'm going to come across people like you that don't like it.
Yeah, of course you're going to come across people like me, because the world is full of people like me. We don't like perverts like you. We don't like...
Well, that's up to you.
Back to your corners. Sweetheart, thank you. That was very sweet of you. I know that's not easy.
That's not the problem.
No, it's not easy. Bless you.
By the way, I hold a black belt in ninjas. So next time...
Dismal day, eh? Yesterday was beautiful, but it's a bit overcast today.
Excuse me.
Right.
There is nothing you can do to a retreating back. If you don't engage somebody, if you don't look them in the eye, if you don't speak to them, if you don't start a relationship with them, if you don't allow them to come into your space, there is nothing they can do about it. Now, you're immediately going to say, that's not practical. It is practical. It's practical if you know about it beforehand.
You didn't get rid of him. You retreated. You cheated.
That's what I... Yes. You said get rid...
Any way you like. That is getting rid of them.
Well, that's the
No, it's not. That's getting rid of yourself.
I didn't tell you you had to stay there.
That's the
I didn't
obvious
tell
thing.
you... No, it's not what I said. I chose my words.
I
chose my words very carefully. Believe you me. What I said to you was, get rid of this person. You don't want to talk to this person, get rid of them. I didn't tell you how to get rid of them. I didn't say you had to sit there. I didn't say, get on with your knickers on yet. I said, get rid of them.
There must be someone sat round today that is 7-year-old or 8-year-old. If something's not done, in another 20 years, they will have spent 20 years going down the self-same horrendous path I went down, because in that period I sent my mother and father through hell. It's the sheer horror of sending someone that brings you into the world and loves you dearly. And the times I find it brings a pure lump to my throat to think I gave my mother 40 years of pure hell, and now I've got to the point in my life she's getting on in years, and I see myself saying, well, she's getting on, but I want to give it as much time as I can with her and try to repay the times that I was such a rotten child to her.
Did I like colour?
And the way out of the problem is for the greater understanding, greater need, and perhaps then that someone that will follow me down this road will not be put through the same hell, torture and purgatory I have gone through, because it does...
Go on stage.
Women's voices have the echo in the face. Ah, ah, ah. This is the start of doing something about getting a more feminine voice. So you're taking a breath. Give me a good chest sound. could have even used more air for that.
I've got damaged lungs.
You couldn't have used more air for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think so?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Can you cast your eyes over, girls, a minute? We've actually done this side. This side's been completed, and this side hasn't.
Looks like she's sunburned on one side.
That's all, doesn't it? That's the point we're making. Just enhance what you've got, rather than changing it dramatically. And so that's all that's happened here.
I think you need to get most of
But I don't. I quite like the shape on you. I quite like the shape on you, and the actual thing.
style.
Yeah, as long as it's not too voluminous. I think the other colour's better. I think the other colour's better. I think you could wear it, but you'd have to change your makeup again. It's not right with that makeup. Right? It's too bland. It's all too bland with that makeup. I think what you'd need a stronger lipstick. Quite honestly, it's difficult in as much that really you shouldn't be wearing black either. It's not your colour to wear. So there's a whole...
That's me buggered for this evening.
You can come out with me. I promise I won't say a thing.
I think the most helpful thing was on the guidance on speech, which is one area where I'm particularly weak. But everything has been so helpful. I've learned a new way to style my hair. I've got more confidence to try different things with makeup. And the whole thing has been a great experience. It really has.
It moves when you prod it.
pork.
People out there have got to understand that we are decent people, and that's all we ask. We want respect and to be treated decently.
No, I think the magic is good.
Being transsexual isn't my problem, it's other people's. I'm a human being first, and I want to be regarded as such.
And I'm a woman. And all I want to do is lead a normal life. If we can educate some of these bozos, we may get somewhere, because out there's a lot of good people. But to me, the only way we can do it is not to hide away. We're going to have to go out, no matter how hard it is for us.
I think the people who give the snidey remarks and the jibes have got a problem themselves. I think if people could see people as people and not as their gender, not as their colour, not as their religion, I think they'd have a whole better life.
We are harmless people, we're not perverts, we're not child molesters, we're just ordinary people.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pop.
Just look 'em in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. 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 Because there's something inside so strong. Inside so strong.
I don't blame anybody if they can't understand it. What I do object to is people who don't even try to understand.